Today we are going to be ranking every single card in Clash Royale. This is as of the new year. We are in 2022 as of recording, and I think this genuinely might be the first Clash Royale tier list of the new year. S tier is going to be the best and F tier is going to be the worst tier, and we have a bunch of different cards here, every single one in the game. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more content, and guys, thank you so much for an amazing 2021. Let's get into card number one, being the Elite Barbarians, baby. We're going immediately to the B tier with them. Now, they're very good. For 6 Elixir, they do a lot of damage, but overall, I wouldn't say they're overpowered by any means. Maybe if they're super high level and you have very low level cards, they can be very good, probably, but overall, I'd have to say the Elite Barbarians, guys, going in a B tier. Archer Queen, she's an S tier. She is crazy. Archer Queen does not know how to stop. She always seems like she can get some insane value. A lot of the top players are using Archer Queen, and no matter the deck variation, because, guys, she is just that good. Archers, they're gonna go in D tier. I would say they're below a lot of cards right now. There's better ways to kill air units. The archers overall are 3 elixir, and they're going to get shot down by some sort of spell. For right now, archers really aren't that good. I mean, they're gonna be seen in the expo decks, obviously, but other than that, I haven't seen them too often, guys. I really haven't. Baby Dragon, a B tier card. Very solid. And I should say, like, this tier list is all my opinion. If you guys agree with me, let me know down below. If you don't agree with some of the choices and you have a reason for that, definitely drop a comment down below. I love reading the comments on these videos. You guys oftentimes have a lot of good reasons for things that you might want to change up when it comes to my list here. So let's go. Baby Dragon, B tier. The splash damage is phenomenal. The HP this thing has, very solid, guys. Very solid. Baby Dragon can be quite tanky. And overall, I mean, for Elixir, it's a good Elixir count for the Baby Dragon. A very solid card there. Bandit. After the nerf, I'm going to go ahead and put it B or A tier here. Certainly not S tier. Certainly not A tier. I have to go with the Bandit at B tier, guys. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I mean, Tombstone is much more meta now. At least now, after the past, balance changes. Bandit. Going to be seeing a lot more difficulty here, and like overall, Bandit's good. I would say Bandit is solid. A tier is something a little special, a little more special than the Bandit, guys. Bandit, you're doing good, but you're not A tier in my opinion. I mean, I think some people will probably disagree with that, but that's all good, right? That's what this is for. Barbarian Hut, gonna be our first F tier here, guys. You cannot justify putting that any higher. It simply is not worth the elixir. Barbarians, very interesting here with the Lava Hound currently in play all over the place, guys. Barbarians are pretty good. They're pretty good. I wouldn't go B tier. I wouldn't put them on the same level as E-Barbs. I would say they're one level below. Just in terms of, guys, the fireballs are going to absolutely annihilate these guys. And the Baby Dragons, the Barbarians, they can be good. So that's why they're going in the C tier. They're definitely above Archers, but overall, they are not going to get it done for me here, getting them a C tier. Barbarrel is going to go in A tier with all the graveyard going around right now, with all of the, the bait going around. It's always good to have a Barbarrel in there. But yeah, I'd say A tier is really solid for the Barbarrel. I'd say it's been probably A tier for quite a while, but now that graveyard is everywhere, Barbarrel's phenomenal, both on defense and offense there. Very, very good spell. Bats, gonna go in, I would say, the B tier. The B tier suits the bats because not only are they really solid in some situations, but they can certainly get countered really easily. They can put in a lot of DPS quickly because there is 5 of them, and for just 2 elixir, I mean, that's a really good deal. So I say the bats, definitely going to be a good B tier here. I'd say they're maybe top of the B tier. They're a really good 2 elixir card. Battle Healer, going to go in the D tier here. She's really not doing it for me, guys. The Elixir Golem obviously can work, but in terms of actually being used in other decks, Battle Healer is not good enough, guys. She doesn't get the job done. I haven't seen her used effectively otherwise, and that is why she's going to be in the B tier. Just like Archers. Archers are only used in Expo, correct me if I'm wrong, in terms of the meta decks. Battle Healer is only used in the Elixir Golem, and even then, it's still not that good oftentimes. So overall, Battle Healer, going to go into D tier there. Battle Ram. One of the worst win conditions in the game, in my opinion. I get it's 4 elixir. The Battle Ram, it will put it in C tier, but like, it's definitely not going in B tier because overall, the only thing I see people do with this is just put on a little pressure, right? The only way they win with this card is if they are majorly ahead on elixir. Otherwise, defensively speaking, it's not the best. I'm sure you can kite units. The Battle Ram, though, let me know your thoughts on the Battle Ram, guys. Let me know. Do you agree with me? Should it be higher? I am curious to see what you guys have to say about that. Because for me personally, like, why wouldn't you use a Ram Rider? Defensively speaking, 1,000 times better. And, you know, I mean, it does damage. Like, it's crazy, guys. It's crazy. Dark Goblin, going to be A tier here. Dark Goblin is something special. Dark Goblin is absolutely phenomenal in terms of the damage you see from him. The overall elixir cost for 3 elixir, it's great. It's a perfect balanced card and a very strong one at that, guys. When you place the Dark Goblin, he's got that range. He does fast damage. He shoots quickly. And, of course, he can sometimes beat people's win conditions. Like, it's crazy how much damage he can get just by getting on the tower for a couple seconds, guys. Bomber, going to go ahead and be a C tier here. Went a little bit further out of the meta after that nerf. He has to be much closer to units, but still a good card. I would actually going to move him up to B tier. Bomber doesn't deserve the C tier. Bomber certainly can work in a little bit of a wide range of decks, and overall, I mean, he does counter some cards really nicely, right? The Barbarians would get destroyed by a Bomber. The Elite Barbs even can get laid into by the Bomber. Royal Hogs, there's many more examples that I can't think of, but the Bomber can certainly be used well for just 2 elixir as well. We gotta remember that, guys. 2 elixir, you're getting your money's worth. Bomb Tower, I'd say it's underrated. I wouldn't go A tier, but I would certainly consider it in B tier, guys. Bomb Tower, going to be underrated this season in my opinion. It should probably be used more. It's very tanky, right? Has a lot of HP. It can pull units really far because of it being 3x3 tiles. Very, very big building there. And overall, that Death Bomb will be pretty nice in order to deal with things like bats, other stuff like that. That bomb can be 100% essential there. Bowler, going in the A tier. We're talking a very strong card that a lot of people do sleep on. I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this video do understand that Bowler is an excellent card here. But a lot of people watching might not understand how much HP and damage this guy can do. The Bowler in company with a NATO, the Bowler on defense, guys. Those are 2 great examples of where the Bowler outshines many other cards. Bowler, for example, 100% counters Elite Barbarians. Barbarians, Battle Healer. It really does shut down pretty much everything here, including the Archer Queen. Bowler can just tank all of that damage. It's absolutely crazy. Elixir Pump at the bridge is S tier, but Elixir Pump in general is F tier here. Cannot justify putting that any higher, guys. It's really not good. You have fireballs all over the place. You have quakes all over the place. You have rockets. Holy smokes. Elixir Collector really just not popular in the current meta for a reason, right? It's not very strong. Inferno Tower, we're going to go ahead and go with a B tier. I would love to put Inferno Tower higher, but I mean, it's good. It's very tough for me, though, because both of these have very good situations where they would be better than the other. I'm going to go ahead and put Inferno Tower. I don't know. We're going to leave the towers in B tier for now. I use Inferno Tower personally. It works great for me, but for everyone else, I don't know if Inferno Tower is A tier, right? That would be putting a lot of bias in this. I'm going to go ahead and leave Inferno Tower in B tier, guys. It's a very good building. Obviously, it does great against tanks. Very, very strong. Mortar, once again, B tier. It's solid. The Mortar is pretty high skill, I would have to say. Tesla, we're going in the B tier here, because I really do not see the Tesla doing nearly as well as it did the other 2 seasons. It was super crazy. This season, I mean, it has calmed down a lot for me. A lot of people are not using the Tesla anymore. A lot of people are using the cannon. A lot of people are using the spawners. A lot of people are using the Inferno Tower in my trophy range. So I really haven't seen Tesla hardly at all personally. Let me know what buildings you guys are seeing. Expo, gonna go in the C tier. I would say Expo, you know what, it's Expo. The very best players are gonna be able to get wins with it, but other than that, I mean, Expo is really not in its prime right now. Maybe in its prime it would be B or A tier, but for right now, Expo's in a pretty healthy spot. It's gonna be C tier. Cannon card, it's going to S tier. The cannon card is absolutely crazy. Can do so much damage on the field. Cannon card is the Clash Royale menace. Does a lot of damage, can be very difficult to deal with, and even if it just gets on your tower for a couple seconds, even after it dies, guys, it's gonna have an entirely new amount of damage it does. So crazy. For 5 elixir, you're getting your money's worth there, and it does, like I said, just so much damage over time. Its fire rate's really solid, and since it goes slower, you can build up some pretty nice pushes with it. It is crazy. Cannon, we're going to go ahead and go with the D tier here. Cannon is good. It can certainly work in some decks, but like the other 2 in D tier, it really mainly works in Hog 2.6. One of the main ways Cannon works. Balloon, I hate to do this. I really do. I hate going against Balloon. But it's legitimately an S tier win condition here, being probably one of the stronger ones right now in the game. We're talking, boys. It's insane. The Balloon at 1 HP can get a shot off right before it dies, and it literally does 1,500 damage. It's obnoxious. I literally lose to Balloon more than any other card. It's really annoying, and it's really strong for that reason, especially in company with the Rage spell, the Freeze spell. We're talking just about anything here. The Balloon can certainly make it work, guys. It's crazy right now. Making it S tier, I really hate doing that because Balloon's probably one of my most hated cards in the game. It's just super no skill, it feels like, right? Because you just place it down, You don't think much about it. The balloon goes where it goes, and that's going to do what it does. It's going to take towers just by doing that. Whereas other high skill decks, you really need to work for your damage. But the balloon, guys, one shot, and it gives it all to you. It's crazy. That's just my opinion anyways. Golem. We are going to go ahead and go in B tier. I wouldn't say the card is dead. I wouldn't say the card is great. I'm going to go ahead and put it in C tier, actually. Golem's not the best right now. It's certainly playable, but it's not in its prime by any means. I'm going to go C tier with the Golem. It's a very balanced card that certainly works in certain decks and metas. Very good, very good. Witch, we're going to go ahead and go D tier. I would normally put in an F tier here, but the Witch can work. I've seen some clone decks lately. I mean, it's been a little crazy, guys. And speaking of clone's up next. Let's go. Clone spell. We're going to go ahead and put the clone spell in D tier. D tier. 100% D tier. And here is why. It is only good in, once again, very specific decks. You really can't throw a clone in just any deck and have it work well. It just doesn't work like that. You need the right cards, you need the right swarm, you need the right meta, and the right cycle. It's a whole lot of things that need to go right for you. Dark Prince, I would put in A tier, but we're going to go ahead and put him in B tier. A very good card in the game. Not bad, not great. Very, very balanced card in my opinion. Night Witch here. Gonna go in D tier. Certainly not the best witch in the game right now. She's good, but I would not say she can work in a wide range of decks. Once again, similarly to the clone and the normal witch, it really does depend on the deck for the Night Witch. Earthquake, gonna go ahead and go in B tier. A very good spell. I want to put it A tier though. I mean, Hogquake is good. Royal Hogsquake is also good, but I would not say the Earthquake is what makes those decks so crazy, right? The Archer Queen, the Hogwarts, the Firecracker, those are all major factors in those decks. Electro Dragon. Gonna go in the same tier here as the Baby Dragon. I would say Electro Dragon's a little bit underrated, probably, just because it's so expensive, right? 5 Elixir for a Dragon, that is quite a bit. And overall, though, I do gotta give credit to it, guys. The defense capabilities with the Electro Dragon is crazy. It's really strong on defense. I'm a big fan of that card defensively. But once it crosses the bridge, I mean, it's very slow. The chain damage can be nice, though. So there's a lot of pros and cons to weigh with this card right here, guys. I do have to say, on attack, I mean, that chain can be deadly. So very, very interesting. Electro Giant, we're going to go ahead and go B tier here. This is an interesting card because you either get rolled by it if you're low level and you're complaining about it because it's way too high level and you can't kill it. Or top ladder, it really, I mean, it does take skill to win with it. A lot of it can be lightning cycle, a lot of it can be just overall good gameplay. Like, it really does depend. It's a very interesting card. And other times it feels like it just dies too soon and you can't break through. So I would say B tier is a good place for the Electro Giant. Some people make this card work, some people cannot get this card over the bridge. It's very interesting. Electro Spirit's going to go in the A tier. It's a good spirit, guys. It's very, very, very good in this meta. With all the bats, with all the spam, with all the Inferno Dragon, this card has brought me so much success. And let me tell you, before you hate on me for putting this in A tier, guys, this card shuts down Graveyard better than I ever imagined. The Electro Spirit and the Log. 3 Elixir completely counter an entire Graveyard if done correctly. It's absolutely absurd and phenomenal. I absolutely love this Electro Spirit. By far the best spirit in the game, in my opinion, guys. Once again, but hey, my opinion. It could be right, it could be wrong. It's all up to you. Let's keep this going here. The Electro Wizard gonna go in B tier here. A good card, but for some reason really never finds its place in many meta decks. It can be in some bridge spam decks, but overall the Electro Wizard, it's a good card overall. Let's go. The Elixir Golem. We're going right down to the F or B. We're going to go D tier because it can work in Elixir Golem, but that's literally it, guys. That's literally it. I mean, you're not going to see Elixir Golem working at all. It gives your opponent way too much Elixir. It really is a good card, you know, if you want to lose games. It is. Executioner, let's go with the C tier. Entirely a really balanced card, I would say. I mean, it's got what it says it's got. You got the 5 Elixir. It's a lot of Elixir. But it does have a lot of HP. It does do quite a bit of damage. It is a little slow. And since it shoots in a straight line, sometimes that can really screw you up because it'll not see the stuff around it. Once it gets targeted and distracted, it's interesting. I would say we're gonna move the Executioner down to D tier, to be honest with you. It's not on top for a reason, you know what I mean? So we're gonna go ahead with that. Firecracker going to go in A tier. Firecracker is very popular now, and it's for good reason. I mean, she is a good card. I would say she's overrated. I think a lot of people would put Firecracker in S tier, and to me that doesn't seem right. A tier is gonna be where the Firecracker goes. She's respectable. She definitely needs an arrows or something. The fact that she has quite a bit of HP where you can't log her is a bit annoying, and overall that she can do quite a bit of tower damage. I think it's like over 300 tower damage, which is insane. Fireball, let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. Fireball, what you got for us? I'm gonna go Fireball A tier. Fireball's really good in the current meta. You can always get good value out of your Fireball, it seems, whether it's a Flying Machine, a Magic Archer, Electro Wizard, Elite Barbarians, Hunter, I don't even know. Fireball can take it down a lot of times, guys. Both of these, Furnace and Goblin Heart, were both going in D tier. They can work, but I think they did get really hurt by that nerf, guys. Absolutely destroyed here. Fire Spirit, going to be another A tier spirit because of how much pressure it provides. For just 1 elixir, you do oftentimes have to defend it, or it does a good amount of tower damage there, guys. A very good spirit. I would definitely put Electro Spirit over it, though, just from the fact that this spirit can target a whole wide range of things, whereas this one more so just kind of like a little impact there. Fisherman, I'm going to go in the B or C tier here. I'm thinking B tier. Fisherman can definitely be really strong. RG's not very strong in the meta, though. It doesn't help the Fisherman by any means. Flying Machine, we're going to go A tier. Flying Machine is above average here. Normally, Flying Machine would be in B tier. But, guys, Flying Machine is so good. Obviously, it's a great way of baiting out opponents' fireballs for your Royal Hogs. For any sort of Royal Recruits fireball bait, Flying Machine is your biggest card in that deck that oftentimes can overwhelm opponents, because when you place that Flying Machine in the center of the bridge where it cannot be hit by either Princess Tower and it's just getting infinite value, it can make opponents rage. It is so strong in that situation. Freeze Spell, I hate to do this, but it's literally B tier because of Lumberjack Balloon Freeze and Graveyard Freeze right now. It's their two super meta decks. They take very little skill, and all of that's possible through the Freeze Spell. Very obnoxious decks. I do hate facing them, and once again, I hate to do this, but it would be wrong to put the Freeze Spell any lower. Freeze Spell is what makes those decks so strong oftentimes, because, I mean, you can defend the balloon up to a certain point until you can't, because all your stuff is frozen. You see what I mean? It's just very rough. So the Freeze Spell, I would love to see the Freeze Spell just get removed from the game, but who knows if Supercell will ever do that? Probably not. But let's see. Royal Ghost, let's see. Royal Ghost, you know, it's a good card. We're going with a B tier here. Very solid, very solid. Giant, I would like to see a Giant buff of some sort, because Giant can work. But the keyword here is can. Like, it's very difficult to use if you really do not get the maximum value of every single card in your deck. I would put it right on the same level here as Golem, Expo, Battle Ram. Like, they all can work. But once again, it really is going to depend on that player. They're going to be playing at a very elite level there. Giant Skeleton, going to be one lower than those guys. The D tier here, you just can't use him in this current meta, guys. He's just not strong, unfortunately. Unless it's the clone decks. You're not going to see Giant Skeleton out here. Spear Goblins are a really solid support card, I'd say, in terms of chip and air damage. For just 2 elixir, you're getting your value, guys. You're getting A tier type of value. Spear Goblins going in the A tier here. Goblin Barrel, I'd love to put it in S tier, but we got to go A tier here. We got to be civil. I'm a huge log bait fan, guys. Goblin Barrel's phenomenal here. Goblin Barrel, always going to get that awesome damage. You have a lot of potential and skill involved in the Goblin Barrel. You can juke people, you can outcycle them, you can get a ton of damage if this is being tanked for. So, very good card overall. The Goblin Cage is still really good. I'm going to have to go A tier on that building there. Our first A tier building, guys. Goblin Cage. Super good at distracting, super good on defense there. The Goblin Drill. Interesting. I'm going to go C tier with the Goblin Drill, guys. I know it's not used a ton, but it still certainly can work. At my trophy range, I haven't seen too many Goblin Drills, but when people use them, they oftentimes can win. And I've seen a lot of pros still busting out the Goblin Drill here and there just to see if they can just get wins with it, because on defense, it's really not that bad. I would say it's on the level of these cards here. Goblin Drill, sorry. Let's go with the Goblin Gang. We're going to go C tier, and there's a reason for that, guys. There's a reason for that. I think there's better swarms right now. I think the guards do outshine the Goblin Gang. Although the Goblin Gang can shoot air, they're very squishy. Very squishy. So the Goblin Gang, gonna go in C tier for me. Goblin Giant, gonna go in B tier. I wouldn't say it's like the best. I would say it's like a mortar. Like, you know, it's good. It's good. It can work with the right player. Certainly a good card. Stab Goblins, we're gonna go in C tier. They can do a lot of damage. Overall, not a bad card. Top ladder, of course, they aren't gonna be the best in the world, but people make them work in lower ladder. People do make them work. So let's go. Golden Knight here is gonna go A tier. I would put him S tier, but I do genuinely think that the Archer Queen's got an edge on the Golden Knight. I do hate to say that because I do like the Golden Knight, but I mean, Archer Queen's on a different level. We gotta be honest here. Golden Knight, gonna be A tier though, a very solid A tier at that. So what's up next? The Graveyard, gonna be A tier right now, guys. It's a good card. Not a whole lot of Mother Witch after the nerf. Graveyard Freeze, it's everywhere. It's, oh my goodness, dude. It's been painful for me. As a log bait player, I've been having to battle through those matchups there. Heal Spirit, like, we don't need to even talk about that. Heal Spirit's really, really insignificant, what it can do compared to these other spirits here. Even the Ice Spirit. Not even close, guys. Hog Rider, what do we want to do with the Hog Rider here, man? Hog Rider's going in A tier. it is a good win condition. When we're talking good, we're talking graveyard level good. The Hog Rider puts on pressure. Hog Rider Quake, we're talking Hog Rider Firecracker, we're talking Hog Cycle. I mean, these are all really strong decks, and throughout the arenas, Hog Rider's always going to be seen, guys. Always going to be seen. We're talking very, very consistent, powerful win condition in the game. Hunter, going to be underrated. I think Hunter's B tier. I think a lot of people would put Hunter C or D. I think Hunter can be great, though. When he's on top of that tower, or when he's on top of units, guys, he shreds. And for 4 Elixir, I think that's a very fair card, just like Baby Dragon in here. Ice Golem. Ice Golem's going to go ahead and go in C tier. I think it works in Hog 2.6. It works in a couple of these decks here. I wouldn't say it's all out of this world, though. Like, all of these cards, you know, they're C tier. They aren't crazy. They aren't crazy. Ice Wizard. Going to go in B tier. Ice Wizard's going up, though. Ice Wizard's going up. Ever since all this graveyard came about, ever since the Electro Dragon's been popular again. I mean, guys, it's been crazy. Ice Wizard, I am seeing him quite a lot here. Quite a lot. Ice Wizard being used quite a bit in the meta. Inferno Dragon is a good card. It's a real good card because guess what? It is oftentimes in the Lumberjack Balloon Cycle deck. It's also being seen as one of the top tank busters right now because it's a mobile Inferno Tower. Guys, Inferno Dragon can be really deadly in this current meta. The Knight going to be outshined by the Valkyrie here. We're going to go with the Knight in B tier. He does his job. He tanks. He does well. But overall, I cannot imagine using the Knight over the Valkyrie in this current meta, guys. The Valkyrie splash damage is certainly one that is 100% worth spending the extra elixir. I cannot stress that enough. I used to play log bait with the Knight personally, and the Knight was great, right? He did his job. The cycle was fast. But the splash damage needs to be there, especially in this meta when you got Graveyard. You got things like Goblin Drill. You got things like Royal Hogs. I mean, it's very important to have that splash damage, guys, even the Royal Recruits. Splash damage is certainly something that's really good. Lava Hound has a win condition. Gonna go in B tier. I mean, it's really strong with the Tombstone, with the Balloon, with all that stuff in there. Lava Hound's gonna be fantastic. Lightning, baby. Lightning's going in A tier. I think it's a really good spell. A lot of people are using it, obviously, to counter the Archer Queen, but even still, Electro Giant Lightning, Golem Lightning, whole bunch of Lightning decks doing really well right now. Even RG Lightning, I think it might be one of the stronger versions of Lightning out right now. Lightning decks. Magic Archer, I do really like the Magic Archer. One of the highest skill cards in the game, in my opinion. You got to do some geometry, but he can certainly get a lot of damage off, and oftentimes he can be really difficult to deal with because guess what? When you're defending, when you least expect it, they'll plop a Magic Archer down and get a couple free shots on your tower, which can be hundreds of damage. Mega Knight's gonna go B tier here. Really, I mean, it's not that good. It's not as good as people talk it up to be. There's certainly hard counters to Mega Knight, but it definitely can get its value. So we're actually moving that down to C tier here. I do not understand the Mega Knight hype. It's a very good card, don't get me wrong, but it's top ladder. You just don't see it, guys. You just don't see it. It's for a reason, right? 70 elixirs a lot. Mega Minion, we're going A tier. Mega Minion's phenomenal, dude. The amount of damage this card can do is awesome. I love it. Mega Minion's a great card. Miner, we're going with the A tier here. Miner's super good, man. Can snipe princesses, can snipe, can tank, can absolutely crush towers, and Miner chip can be a very difficult time as well sometimes, because just predicting the Miner in general can be very tough. Minion Horde, we're gonna go C tier for it. It can work, but once again, like, it really shouldn't, guys. It really shouldn't work too much. Minion Horde on the same tier as Mega Knight doesn't feel right, so we're gonna put the Mega Knight at B tier. We'll set it for that. Minion Horde is definitely with these cards here. Well, let's go with the Minions. They'll go one up from the Minion Horde, but they really still aren't the best. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go Minion Horde in D tier, Minions in C tier, because both of these cards, they can work, like I said, but they aren't going to be the best right now in the current meta. With all this splash damage, all of those spells, guys, it's not going to be the best for you. Mega Mini Pekka, C tier. It's a good win condition, or sorry, it's a good tank buster. It does a lot of damage. You aren't going to see it too much on ladder with the higher you go, but in the lower arenas, Mini Pekka does a bunch of damage, and if you get that Mini Pekka on the tower, you will absolutely crush, man. Mirror. How you going? Let's go. Okay, Mirror. What do we want to think about this? What do we want to think? The Mirror, dude. I gotta go F tier. It's really not used. Like, that's the biggest thing for me. It's just not used effectively on top ladder. It's just not. Mirror's gotta go F tier. It's interesting. I would love to see someday a meta deck, a top meta deck, where the Mirror was a major factor in that deck. That'd be interesting. Let's go with the Mother Witch, though. How are we gonna go about this? Let's go B tier. Let's go B tier. Mother Witch is really squishy right now. The piggies aren't the problem, in my opinion. Like, I have not had a problem with Mother Witch since the nerf, so I think she's B tier. Let's go Musketeer, B tier as well. Good in Hog 2.6, good in some support cards. Arrows are A tier, they're phenomenal. Pekka, A tier, baby. Pekka does so much damage, dude, so much. Pekka's absolutely crazy. Poison's going A tier right now, same with the Fireball. because Poison hard counters Graveyard, and overall, I mean, there's a lot of clone going around. Prince going in B tier, a very solid card overall. Prince can obviously do a bunch of damage with that Joust in the lower arenas. I remember absolutely crushing people with Prince. It was so much fun, dude. Princess, though. Princess going in A tier, dude. Princess is good. She's good. That splash damage. I mean, she makes what log bait so powerful. And if people get behind on Elixir, they run out of Elixir, and you have a Princess at the bridge, they gotta waste even more Elixir on that Princess. Lumberjack going B tier. Honestly, a Lumberjack going C tier. It's right along with the mini Pekka, dude. The only reason why Lumberjack is good is because of the balloon, not because the Lumberjack is strong. Rage spell going in F tier. I would equate this to the mirror, like it can work, but it really never does. Ram Rider's going in A tier, though. Ram Rider is super good, dude. I almost want to go S tier, but we're gonna hold off and go with the A tier here. Ram Rider is so good, guys. As a win condition, I cannot stress that enough. Rascals, S tier. I'm putting them S tier. I mean, I know that they're really only used in log bait, but when they're used in log bait, like, they are so good. I cannot stress this enough. I have turned so many little pushes into towers down because of how strong the Rascal girls are. They do so much damage so fast, guys. Kind of similar to the Archer Queen, in my opinion. Like, literally, the towers just melt off your screen. The Rocket going in A tier, a really strong spell. Royal Delivery going in B tier, underrated. Royal Giant right now, I hate to do this because Royal Giant's a fun card, but it is C tier. It's really not the best, guys. It's really not the best right now in this current meta. Fairly easy to deal with. A lot of Pekka going around. Royal Hog's going to be S tier, guys. They are still crazy strong. I would say they're a bit overrated. They're probably the lowest S tier out of all of these cards, but they definitely are S tier still, though. Royal Hog's a very good card in the game. Royal Recruits, A tier, gonna be absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy, because obviously that 70 Elixir, you get so many units. You can shut down a dual lane push. You can shut down a whole lot of things with those Royal Recruits. Skeleton Barrel, gonna go in the B tier. I would say they're definitely Skeleton Barrel way worse than the Goblin Drill here. Skeleton Barrel can apply pressure, it can be good, but it's not gonna be the best. Skeleton Dragons going to go in C tier. I think they work primarily in what is it, RG and Lava Hound decks. Skeleton Dragons can put in some work for sure. That's interesting. That's interesting. Skeleton Army gonna go B tier. Skeleton Army is one of the best cards in the game in the earliest arenas, but as you move on, Skeleton Army kind of drifts away. Still can work, of course, but Skeleton Army gonna go B tier for me. Skeleton King gonna go A tier. He is so much fun to play with, guys, and obviously very strong. I use a Golem clone deck with him, and oh my goodness, it is ridiculous how many people it just overpowers. 1 unit skeletons, we're going to the S tier here. Best cycle card in the game, incredibly powerful, and the kites you can do with them is they're crazy, guys. They're crazy. Guards also going in the S tier. The guards are the best cycle card, or sorry, best swarm card in the game right now. For 3 Elixir, dude, you can get your money's worth, baby. The guards are so good. I use them over the Goblin Gang now, and I've never looked back. The Goblin Gang is trash compared to them. I'm telling you right now, the damage these guys can do. If they get 2 little guards on that tower for 5 seconds, you're literally taking like 600 damage. It's absurd, man. Absolutely crazy. Snowball, it's a really underrated spell. It's going in the A tier. It is literally surpassing all of these. Really underrated, we're talking. Ice Spirit's B tier. It's good. Log, going as the S tier here. I mean, Log, it's Log, dude. Log is, of course, going to be S tier, guys. Phenomenal spell in the game. 3 Musketeers, unfortunately, guys, going in the F tier. They just don't work. They just don't work. Tombstone going up to A tier. It's good. I don't know why, but it's good, baby. It's so good. It's really interesting how Tombstone has actually skyrocketed just from being that extra skeleton. It's crazy how much of a difference things can make like that. Tornado going to unfortunately go in S tier. Yeah, Tornado's crazy. Tornado's crazy, dude. Tornado can literally move cards that your opponent places. It's so powerful. Going to forever be, unless it like just they change it, you know, unless they completely change Tornado. Like, it's so strong, guys. I can't even express it. I cannot even express it. Valkyrie, S tier. So many S tiers towards the ends, I guess. Literally, I mean, Valkyrie's S tier, though. We've already been through this. The strongest small tank in the game. Very, very crazy. Very, very crazy. Wall Breakers, A tier. For 2 Elixir, they're crazy. Wizard, going in D tier. Wizard's really not the best. People overhype Wizard, guys. Sparky, C tier. Very good. I'd definitely put Sparky in C tier. It can work, but it does have its direct counters like Zappies, which are going in B tier, and Zapspell, which is going in A tier, guys. That has been the list. And I do like this. I do like this a lot, because guess what? I agree with it. I made this list, guys. We got this. Dude, this was awesome. So, we got a lot of things in S tier here. There's Archer Queen. Very strong. We all know she's S tier. Cannon Cart, once again, super good card. Rascals are very strong. Balloon, Roll Hogs, 1 unit Skeletons, Guards, Log, Tornado, and the Valkyrie. All incredibly powerful cards, guys. I'm a huge fan of these S tier cards. I want someone to make a deck out of 8 of these and let me know how it goes with the S tier, guys. Let me know how it goes in the comments down below. But dude, these A tiers are all really solid. I would say the only one I might put in B tier would be the Hog Rider or the Mega Minion, but I think we're going to leave them. They're definitely really good. And then for the B, C, D, and F, these are all very fair. Obviously, not all of these cards are where they should be. For example, the Wizard can work, but overall, he's going to go in D tier, guys. So this has been my list. I do hope you guys enjoyed, and once again, let me know what you think down below. And if you did enjoy today's video, make sure to subscribe. Have a fantastic day, everybody. Master Diddy-san, out.